Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, hit that bell so you know whenever I post video. I just want to send out a little warning to Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky. Please do not let, and I'm sorry if you hear in the background, my husband, he's scraping a pan. We're here at this I don't know how to call it. It's like resort? I don't know. How would you call this, baby? Kind of like a resort, I don't know. We're getting ready to check out. We're gonna go to the spa, but we have to check out of our room. And I made some veggies and burned the bottom of the pan. So he's scraping that now, and he's trying to get all the stuff loaded in the dishwasher and everything. But I noticed that, you guys know on this channel, I've talked about Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky many times because I talk about the Real Housewives, one of my favorite shows. I watch many of the franchises. And I'm always talking about how, to be called the Real Housewives, many of these people are not married. So many of them have been divorced. And it is a divorce maker. That franchise is a divorce maker because I feel like oftentimes where people they spill all this stuff about their marriage. They make these public grievances about their marriage because they feel like they're on the show, the women. They feel like they're in a space of sisterhood where they can actually talk about these things. But really, sometimes it's actually just this nature of reality TV that when people are having problems in their marriage, that makes for good reality TV. And, I think that's destroying some marriages. And something I've said from the very beginning is I've always really admired the relationship between Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky. I talk about the most functional marriages on that show that I see, and to me it has been these two, Kyle and Mauricio. Nene Leakes and Greg, even though they had that moment where they divorced and they got married again, and even though Nene is always popping off, I really saw their marriage as very, very rich and loving, and strong, something that really endured the test of time. And Lisa Vanderpump and Ken, Lisa and Ken, LVP and Ken. I can't think of his last name. I think it's Vanderpump. Ken Vanderpump? I don't know. But I know that there was this whole fallout between Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump. And honestly, I think that is part of where Kyle, that was one of the biggest things that I did. I love Kyle. I think that she is someone who is dignified. She can have fun around the other women and stuff. She can clown around, but at the same time, she sets down very, very, healthy boundaries to keep her family safe and functional and healthy, both in their mind and spirit, however it goes, their spirit and their bodies, keeping their physical self healthy and safe and protected, but also, she sets those boundaries to where her family, they're not just dishing all the crazy drama and talking about crazy drama in the marriage and all that stuff or their family home. It's like some stuff should be left for private. And I felt like those three couples that I just named, they really understood that. But I see that there were all these rumors that Kyle and Mauricio had separated, right? And people were buzzing all about this. And people were talking about how in that episode, the chick with the friggin' fake, you know what I'm talking about, that fake electronic cigarette saying, your husband will never please you emotionally, or whatever it was. And people are saying that was a self-fulfilling prophecy, or that was a flash of the future of what would come. But also sometimes it's human nature for people to be kind of crappy and speculate. And Kyle and Mauricio have public social media profiles. I talk about all the time how I feel like social media is a toxic, toxic place. Britney Spears. I talk about Britney Spears a lot on this channel. I think Britney Spears is a beautiful, beautiful spirit. And she has dance in her bones. She needs to dance, Like, that is the way that she expresses herself creatively. And she is on Instagram, albeit, okay, sometimes she's not wearing much clothes. But that's who she's always been. And women, we got boobs, we got butts. Why can't we show them? Like, if that's what she wants to do, it doesn't mean that you have to do it, but it also doesn't mean that you have to send her hate. If you look at these comments, so many people are questioning her sanity all the time, like disparaging her dancing, disparaging her looks, like being really, really mean, toxic, kind of abusive, like emotionally abusive. And then they wonder why when she goes and she takes these hiatuses. And they wonder why, she just turned her comments off on Instagram. They wonder why, like, they don't hear from her sometimes, because it's like, dude, you don't have to put your 2 cents in on everything. Like, why don't you focus on your own life? We know they're public figures. We love them. Or some of us love to hate them. Not myself, but I'm saying some of the trolls out there love to hate public figures. Like, focus on just because you can put stuff in comments and, do all of this stuff and engagement on social media, remember that these are actual people. So I feel like after 27 years of marriage, Kyle, Mauricio, y'all, don't screw up one of the best things in your life because of dumb social media trolls. Go ahead and take those profiles private. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Like, we won't judge you for it. Take care of yourself, or just go ahead and deactivate the accounts for a while. Go seek nature, go on a couple of trips, but it would be very, very unfortunate for two people that I really think belong together. I mean, I don't know that I truly have authority to say that, but I do see something that's very, very, I think, worth saving. And they even came and made this statement that said, there was a lot of speculation that we are not living under the same roof, and they clarified that they are living under the same roof. And they also let people know that they wanted to, they had one of the worst, the hardest years in marriage that they had the past year. No surprise now, where social media is so intrusive. Doesn't surprise me that they had one of their hardest years, because I feel like in this day and age, marriage was just not, in the past, what we've learned from marriage and how to make a marriage really be sustainable. We haven't really explored this extra element that we have in the last 20 years of constant intrusion of social media. So I think this is the time for married people to realize not all people have your best interest in heart. It's not always great to just completely even air your grievances out, but also just all of your fun times out with other people. Sometimes you just need to take it off of Instagram, take it off of Facebook, and just enjoy your spouse to yourself. Be selfish. Enjoy your spouse to yourself. Or if you're having problems, like, maybe do that privately. Kyle, Mauricio, maybe y'all ought to take that. I know that y'all have a brand, you have an empire you're building, but I think maybe y'all should take those social media accounts private. Because you might not realize it, but stuff might have been kind of like teetering and eating away at your marriage and not knowing it. And I just would be so heartbroken if I saw this almost 30-year marriage come to an end. It's like, y'all have made it this far. You can keep going. I recently talked about how Michelle Obama said she couldn't stand Barack Obama for the first 10 years of marriage. People will take that and they'll be like, oh my God, that's terrible. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just like, no. People grow. People grow together, and sometimes that growth is kind of ugly. But it doesn't mean that you should throw away decades-long marriages for nothing. And the more, look at Vicki Gunvalson. She divorced her husband that she was married to when she was on, I talk about this all the time. She divorced her husband she was married to on OC, and she says it's one of her biggest regrets, and that she let outside voices interfere in her marriage. So I'm sending my best to Kyle and Mauricio. Guys, don't throw away something so rich lightheartedly. I mean, divorce is big, take it seriously. And don't be afraid to take those social media private for at least some time. Go back and rekindle your romance and discover what brought you together. And, that's just my 2 cents. Again, I don't want to speculate too much, but I want to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments. If you're new here, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video, and I'll see you next time.